Hi and welcome to the video. I'm Dame and this is Dame Over, and today's video is about one of the new weapons that has dropped with the final update to Battlefield 5, the summer update, and today we're having a look at one of the more weird ones actually in the game, probably the strangest weapon to come out in Battlefield 5, and that is the M3 Infrared for the Scout class. Now this has piqued a lot of interest amongst Battlefield 5 players simply because it's so different to everything else. You've got a massive scope on the top which you can't change. It has to be the 3x scope and it has to be infrared. There's no way to customize the sight at all. And again, it's very interesting for the Scout class because it has a very high rate of fire of 450 rounds a minute but very low damage per shot. I think you need 5 or 6 bullets at optimum range to get a kill with this thing. Now that's just my best guess as there aren't any actual official figures from Battlefield 5 for any of the weapons, but in my experience 5 or 6 bullets seems to do the trick. So just like the self-loading rifles, this is a semi-auto gun, and to take advantage of that fast fire rate, you're going to have a very quick trigger finger. And I know some of you are going to want to know which specializations to use, so don't worry, I got you covered. So here are the specializations that I think work best with the M3 Infrared. So we've got quick aim, 33% faster aiming down sights, we've got custom stock, lightened stock, and quick reload. All of those very self-explanatory on loads of the different weapons, so I won't go into detail with those, but this right-hand side of the tree is where I think you'll get the most success using the M3. Now, as far as using the sight goes, it does take some getting used to. Seeing in black and white completely when you're aiming down sight is a bit of a struggle to begin with, but once you do get used to that, when players are spotted, it's far easier to see them when you're aiming down sight. And with the proper use of spotting flares, and if you're using the sniper combat role, you'll be able to pick out the red dot above people's heads very easily. That being said, without 3D spotting active, it's pretty much the same as if you're aiming down sight using a regular sight on another gun. In fact, at times I found it actually a bit harder to spot enemies, which really is saying something because it's Battlefield 5 and as we all know, visibility is a big issue. Now my initial thoughts and assumptions with the infrared sight was that you were going to be able to see through smoke, and I thought this would end up being a very useful and powerful tactic by carrying around smoke grenades and using the M3, especially on the 2 new maps that have lots of narrow corridors, roadways, and alleyways. The idea in my head being that you would throw the smoke down to obscure the view of the enemy team and you'd still be able to aim through it and pick them off. But unfortunately, that isn't actually how the game works. So I went into the game live so you guys can see exactly how it works. I'm just going to cut to that now. And let's just have a look at shooting through smoke like I would have shown you in some of these clips before. So here we go. I'm chucking the smoke grenade down. It's there. It's ready. And having a look through, I mean, you can't see anything. I definitely would have thought that having infrared would allow you to see at least a bit through the smoke. As you can see in the clips with other players there as well. I'm going to chuck another one just to make sure that you guys are getting a good representation. With other players through the smoke, still you can't see anything. There's no like white outline. When you do see other players, it's just dark. I don't really get it. I feel like it's a glitch. I really do feel like it's a glitch or some sort of bug. And in the following clips as well, you can see it in action against an enemy team. And frankly, I just think it's a bit backwards. Now, I'm no scientist. I don't actually know how an infrared sight would be affected by smoke in real life. But from my experience in other video games, you can see through smoke. That's kind of the whole point. You can pick people out at a distance or when your vision is obscured by using that particular sight. And although this weapon is quite good, it is surprisingly good up close because of the fast fire rate. It's basically an M1A1 with a massive scope on top. And even at range, again, if you have a fast trigger finger and you're pretty decent at controlling the recoil, you can still pick up quite a few kills. But as far as the infrared sight giving you an advantage over the enemy team, honestly, in the experience I had in probably the 2 or 3 hours I played with this gun, it just didn't really happen. While I was a lot more confident using the M3 infrared up close against the other classes, simply because I had the ability to spam the trigger, I'd still much rather use one of the self-loading rifles as they have a much faster time to kill. Now, like I said before, I don't know if this is a bug, I don't know if it's a glitch. I think some people were expecting it to have a white outline or for the enemy team to glow white when you were looking down the sight, but as you can see, the evidence suggests otherwise. Now, we have had the final update. The summer update is the last one we're going to get, and I don't know if they're going to tweak any of the content anymore, but I'm still hoping that if this is an unintentional error that it does get fixed. But to be honest, I've not really got my fingers crossed. I do recommend that you guys try this weapon out. It can be quite fun and at least you'll get a new experience in Battlefield 5. But as far as it being something special and different, unless you want to reduce your visible color range to that of your dog, then I don't really see the point of the sight. But that's just my experience so far. I really would love to know what you guys think of the M3 Infrared, and if you haven't checked out the new maps yet, I put a video out yesterday so you can see a very quick overview into how they play and what they look like. So make sure you hit me up in the comments below. And here is a very quick thank you to my Dame operatives, those of you guys supporting the channel through Patreon. These guys are all amazing, and each of us individually has our own secret handshake. If you too would like one of those secret handshakes, then you can check out the link to the Patreon page in the description and the pinned comment, and you can support the channel if you so wish. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you're new around here and you want to keep up to date with more content, hit that sub button. And until next time, that's Dame over. Peace.